Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. If your vagina isn't working for you and you have a house filled with children and no husband, then you need to change. You need to start reading to learn how to win at life. You will learn a woman should never be without money. If you have to choose between eating and spending your last dollar, you need to drink water. Never spend your last dollar. Drink water. Learn that you can gain freedom through reading and writing. Power can be black or green. Take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you will not be able to take care of anyone else. You need to visit the website touchedbythelight.us to read inspirational articles and to watch inspirational videos. These articles and videos can lead you out of the darkness. You must read. You can no longer keep conducting your life based on information that you learned 10, 15, or 20 years ago. Stop relying on what your friends have to say and their opinions. Read and get the facts and take control of your life. If you cannot read or you have a problem reading, find someone at the library that can help you. Stop wasting your life away by drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana just because you feel bad. For the next 4 or 5 months, in fact, almost for the next 6 months, I am going to be discussing 3 books. I am going to discuss Women of Courage, The Prayer Jar, and You Are the Prophet of Your Life. The reason why I'm going to continue discussing these books is because repetition you learn from. When things are repeated to you, you have an opportunity to actually listen and learn from this information that has been repeated to you over and over again. These are some good books. These books were written to inspire you. These books were written to get you to change your life, to give you information on how to change your life, to help you. These books were written to make you feel better. They are to be read over and over again until the information reverberates in your spirit. I want you to read these books. I want you to read Women of Courage. I want you to read The Prayer Jar. I want you to read the book You Are the Prophet of Your Life. You do not have to live a miserable life. You can change that life, but you need information. And the only way to get good information is through reading. You must read. If you cannot read, then you need to get someone to teach you to read. You need to go to a library and ask a librarian who in the area teaches adults to read. You must learn to read. If you cannot read, then get someone to read a book to you. But you must operate your life on information, not gossip and hearsay and stupidity and ignorant sayings by stupid people. These books will actually help you. Please read them. The books are You Are the Prophet of Your Life, The Prayer Jar, and Women of Courage. You do not have to live a stupid, ignorant life. Now, when a person is in a situation that requires change and that person does not change, he or she is either making a conscious decision to remain the same, they're satisfied with themselves, or they're paralyzed by fear, or they are confused indecisive, where they cannot make a decision, all pointing to confusion. As we continue, please note how the words avoidance, assumption, comparison, if, and self-esteem plays out in their lives. If the right man comes into the bar or the club tonight, I will sell him my vagina. I can dance in a nightclub and something good is going to come from it. That's an assumption. I don't feel like working like other people for what I want. That's avoidance. She thinks she's better than me, but I just went to bed with her husband. Comparison. There is no behavior beneath me. Low self-esteem. Now, when a person is in this frame of mind, they begin thinking of the word easy. This is when sin steps through the door. You want a new car, but you do not want to work for it. So you seek a man out to help you pay for the car. You don't care if he's married or not. Sin is not your problem. Getting him to pay for your car is the problem. When women begin to think this way, women begin to see their vagina as quick money. Why not slip over here and do a porn shot? Who is it hurting? I can make $200 quick. Hell, dancing in a club is much better than working at McDonald's. It's easy. As your behavior continues, there will become a point where anything goes. You will begin to perform tricks in the bar, in the bathroom. It is a slippery slope. Why not have sex in the bathroom? So the next day you can go and buy the shoes you want. It's easy. What does it matter? You are not hurting anyone. You are performing a service. Someone is going to do it and get the money, so why not you? It's easy. Why not sell my vagina? Yet with one action, you have now just become an enemy of God. Yes, I just said it. An enemy of God. Yes, God has enemies. You did not know that a person could become an enemy of God. Well, listen to this. Romans 8:7. Because the mind of the flesh is hostile to God, it does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. Now this is from Matthew chapter 12. Jesus stated, "He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters abroad." The stand of God is of such a nature that you cannot take a middle ground position. Here's a statement from James chapter 4, where he warns the adulterer and the adulteress. Do you not know that friendship with the world is enemy with God? Whoever therefore wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. See, the world tells you it's okay to sell your body, it's okay to have indiscriminate sex. But God doesn't say that. The people who want to go to church but sin, they want the stability of a godly way of living while at the same time live in an ungodly way. It can't be done. You cannot mix the two. Fine, if you don't believe in God, there are no restraints on your behavior. So you are free to do as you wish. But for the adulterer and the adulteress, do you not know that friendship with the world is hostility toward God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world renders himself an enemy of God. Or do you think the scripture says without reason that the spirit he caused to dwell in us yearns with envy? So, for a shiny pair of shoes, a coat, a car, you trade your soul in and become an enemy of God. Just what does that mean? It means you are facing hell. You traded your soul in for a shiny new dress. You want possession of nice things, but you do not want to work to get them. You want the easy way out. But please don't think you're hiding. Your children aren't stupid. In fact, More parents would get along better with their children if they stopped thinking their children are stupid. Your children know exactly what you're doing in the bar. They know what is going on when you bring a man home that they've never seen before. Besides, if you did not do so well in high school, what makes you think you're smarter than your children? If the best you did in school was the seventh grade work, your children are smarter than you. They're smarter than you just from watching and playing video games. Look at the level of the language for video games. Look at the role play. Most human conflict could be prevented if more people were more honest with themselves. You enjoy playing the victim and not taking responsibility for yourself. Once you reach adulthood in life, you are on your own. Your behavior has nothing to do with your parents from that point on. The blame game stops. You want to continue to say, well, if my parents hadn't been this way, then this wouldn't have happened. Well, now you're an adult, so you cannot blame your parents anymore. You are now responsible for your behavior. When you're in these situations, you begin to think how easy things can be. You desire easy. Therefore, selling one's body is easy. That is easy money. You are smart. Why sit on your money maker? You might as well put it to use. The word easy is an adjective. An adjective is a part of speech that describes something, which means if you sell your vagina, you're easy. Now, the definition of easy is not severe, lenient, not steep, or abruptly readily, taking advantage of easy targets, easy market, such as a con man, readily available for the easy picking, plentiful in the supply of sex, causing or involving little difficulty or discomfort. True enough, sex can cause little discomfort and little effort until you contact AIDS or gonorrhea or herpes or syphilis. Please note, prostitution is easy when men are in control of the money. The word prostitution is a noun. It is the practice or the occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. The sex trade, the sex industry, whoring, street walking, sex tourism. The unworthy or corrupt use of one's talent for the sake of personal or financial gain. Let me say it again. Prostitution is the unworthy or corrupt use of one's talent for the sake of personal or financial gain. It's the unworthy use of your talent. Prostitution is also the business or practice of engaging in sexual activity in exchange for payment. Prostitution is sometimes described as sexual service, commercial, or sex hooking. It sometimes refers to the world's oldest profession. Could it be that you're not concerned with women and children being forced into sexual slavery because you don't see anything wrong with negotiating your body? Could this be why you cannot change for the women of this country? Negotiating with your body is easy, right? It's easy until children start coming. Negotiating with your body is easy until abortions start coming. You hit the big time now. Indulging in a voracious appetite of sex puts you right in line with death. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you are staring death in the face. This is from Mark 7, verses 20 to 23. And he said, what comes out of a person is what defiles him. From within, out of the heart of man comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, wickedness, deceit, envy, slander, pride, foolishness. All of these evil things come from within, and they defile a person. So, when you negotiate for your vagina, you are defiling yourself. When you use your vagina in your negotiation, it is no more than prostitution. Now, here is something from First Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 to 19. God says, flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a man commits are outside of his body, but he who sins sexually sins against his own body. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. The reason why you are not your own is because once you unite with God, you are with him in the Spirit. The Spirit was sent to you as a comforter. Now this one is from First Corinthians 6, verses 12 to 16. Everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial for me. Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be master of anything. Food for the stomach and the stomach for food, but God will destroy both. Body is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. By his power, God raised the Lord from the dead, and he will also raise you. Do you not think your bodies are a member of Christ himself? Shall I then take the members of Christ and unite them with a prostitute? Never. Do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her in body? For it is said, the two will become one flesh. Do you see why these people should have refrained from this behavior? When you begin to negotiate with your body, you have brought sin and death into your home. Think about it. Think about all the indiscriminate acts that take place once sex and the dollar bill coalesce. Children are raped or killed. Women contact all types of venereal diseases. People get shot, stabbed, or murdered. Families are broken up. Nothing good comes from negotiating of sex for money or any object. When you use your body to negotiate for sex, you have taken on the Jezebel spirit. Your mind has been seized with filth. You will act filthy and you will think filthy. You have signed your death warrant and those around you. Finally, you are a whore. The Jezebel spirit is the most virulent spirit of them all. Spirit works with a network of sick-minded people to steal, kill, and destroy your life, your marriage, your family, your ministry. Your quest for power, privilege, and the possession of objects prevents you from seeing this spirit. Nevertheless, this spirit is operating in your life. This spirit can be fought, but you will have to change. You will have to put on the full armor of God to fight this spirit. Christ said, behold, I give you power to tread on the serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of your enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Nevertheless, you will have to change. If you notice these things about you, to allow, to permit, to allow one to do as he wished, not to restrain and not to be left alone, to give up, to let go and to leave, then these signs mean you need to change. This means that the Jezebel spirit is working in you and you have refused to do anything about it. Let me tell you, this spirit is suicidal. You cannot beat this devil without suffering consequences if you do not confront it. Word easy leads women time and time again into the adultery, fornication, prostitution, debasement, and they don't realize how close they're coming to death. The Jezebel spirit leads you into the betrayal, being unfaithful, breaking your vow, prostituting yourself, and taking advantage of others. The whoredom spirit will sell itself and you out, for a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lies in wait as for a prey, and increases the transgression among men. Think of all the confusion you see around a woman who is loose with men. There's always controversy around her. There's always violence, arguments, discontent. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 27 to 28. It says, Jezebel is a strange woman. Give this spirit a place in your life, and chaos and destruction will follow. The bottom line is to avoid personal relationships with those having a Jezebel spirit at all price. It's one thing when family members carry a Jezebel spirit, but it is another to pursue a relationship with someone with this spirit. This means if your girlfriend or your male friend are committing adultery, going out on somebody else and using you as an excuse, you need to get out of the situation because death is facing you also. The bottom line is this: if you love your children, then turn away from sexual sin. Work the second job and live to fight and see another day. Remember, the woman I told you about who worked 7 days a week for 6 years, she bought nothing but the necessities during those 6 years. She was not concerned with false nails, $200 purses, nothing except reclaiming her life. The one thing that she did do was she kept her car in good repair. Turning away from sex for money or sex for a position is difficult, especially when the world tells you it's okay, that it's easy. You see women doing it every day. What you do not see is that there are thousands of women who are not negotiating with their bodies. There are thousands and thousands of women who are not selling their bodies. These are women reading every day, seeking knowledge, trying to learn a profession so they can take care of their family and themselves. There are hundreds of possibilities for your life. You do not have to sell your vagina. All you have to do is change and learn to read. As long as there is breath, you deserve to live a better life. It is not too late to break poor or bad habits or make changes to behaviors that you have used over a decade. Use the rest of your life to champion positive social change for yourself and others. Every individual has value. Stop thinking about easy money. There is no such thing. Get started on a new life. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break.
Hi there. Are you confused about the situation of life? Or are you discouraged about your present situation? Or have you been discouraged that you can never amount to something due to past failure? Or are you loaded with lots of fear? Or are you depending on friends to survive for living? Worry no more. Here comes a book very loaded and well packaged, titled The Prophet of Your Life. This book will enlighten you on who you are, how to build yourself, and how to be the prophet of your life. No, life does not give what you desire. What are you waiting for? You can read the first chapter of the book by going to https://touchedbythelight.us. Order your copy today.
If you are a woman who has been using her vagina to get through life, you need to take a break and listen to me. Vaginas only last so long, then the 50s and 60s hit you and you're through. If you have not amassed enough money, paid off your house, and created enough employment to be eligible for Social Security, you are hit. That is right. I said a vagina only lasts so long. Going to the bar, bringing a man home every 3 or 4 months will soon wear thin. You will develop a reputation at the bar and in the neighborhood. Pretty soon, no man will want to deal with you except the common trash. Men who are incompetent that do not want to work. In your 50s and 60s, you will have to take a job as a housekeeper at the local hospital or work at McDonald's. Most days you will feel so bad you will want to just lay down and die. You will soon see your sons go off to prison and your daughters off to prostitution. You will be saddled with a group of grandchildren, none that you can provide for properly. Your life will be in the toilet, and you will sit before the television asking yourself, where did all the years go? Your life went down the drain because you, like millions of other women, believed in the big lie. You were told by your mother or grandmother or aunt that all a woman needed to do to get along in life was to be pretty and sexy. All you had to do was find some man to take care of you. Well, what they told you is a lie. It is an illusion. It is a stupid theory. Yes, yes, a pretty woman can attract a man, but that does not assure her a life of security nor a life of leisure. Her husband or boyfriend can find another woman just as pretty, then what? So rather than bank on a man supporting you, why not develop your mind so you can take care of yourself? Why not educate yourself? You still can be pretty and you still can be sexy, but the only difference here is you can earn your own money and take care of yourself. So when you get into the 50s and 60s and you're 70 years old, you can own your own home, you can have Social Security or an annuity or a pension where you can live securely and safely. Getting an education for yourself does not preclude you from having a healthy relationship with a man. But what an education will do for you is guarantee you that you do not have to end up working at McDonald's when you get old and your looks and body is gone. Are you not tired of hood rats? Men who do not want to work, men who want to play video games all day or walk down to the dope house and purchase some marijuana and using your money. These are men who do not want to take a bath and go out into the world and make something of themselves. What you need to do right now, this very second, is make up your mind to change. And you can change your life through reading. We want you to consider reading the books If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, A Christian is Never Desperate, and read the series Women of Courage. You can go to the website touchedbythelight.us and read the first chapters of these books. They're guaranteed to help you change your life. Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do nothing girlfriend or your do nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfulfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase, "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in 2 words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it. Today we will be discussing the book, What You Must Do to Win. This is an excellent read, and after you finish reading it, you will enjoy it, but you must put some of the ideas that the author talks about into practice. Reading is not enough. You must put these ideas into practice. Before we begin today's broadcast, we want to suggest that you go to our YouTube channel, Touched by the Light Publishing, and listen to some of our earlier shows. We want you to listen to show 8. We want you to listen to show 34, which is Commit to Your Self-Esteem. We want you to listen to show 39, Envy and Jealousy, and we want you to listen to show 42, The Consequences of Jealousy. We believe when you review this information, you will begin to understand the dynamics of your emotions. You do not want to allow your emotions to carry you to a position where you begin to make decisions that will harm your children and put their lives in jeopardy. Their lives will be in jeopardy if you go to prison. As simple as that. The state will take custody of your children, and they may put them in a situation where your children will never see their relatives again. You need to start seriously considering your behavior. You need to stop competing with women because their breast size is larger than your breast size, or that their derriere is larger than your derriere. Why should you have an operation to enlarge your butt where you can die and leave your children here unprotected? Just how important are larger breasts, and just how important is a larger butt compared to the lives of your children? You need to start really thinking. You keep bringing unrelated males into your home, insisting that your children call them daddy. This behavior is stupid, and I'll tell you why. First of all, you have no idea how that man was raised. You do not know if his mother told him, while in his listening to her talking to his sisters, his mother told his sisters never to bring unrelated men into the home because they could rape their children. Now, if this man heard his mother tell his sisters not to do that, and he's watching you do it, what do you think he thinks of you? You seem to think, when you bring these unrelated men into the house, that they are not evaluating you. Yes, they are. And when they come up with the conclusion that you're stupid and that you do foolish, silly things, they're going to start leaving. They're going to start looking around for another woman where they can go nest. Because that's all they're doing. All these men are doing are nesting. Why do you keep putting your children through this trauma when you know within a few months after this man gets in a better financial position, he's going to leave? Your children will grow up not respecting themselves. They will become victims of sexual predators and the worst of men. This is why, when reading the book, What You Must Do to Win, that the author keeps repeating the phrase that you must begin to think and to seek the help of a psychologist or a psychiatrist. When you keep repeating negative behavior over and over and over again, then it is time to seek professional help. How many my baby daddies are you going to have? We are not conducting these broadcasts to make you feel bad or to embarrass you, but we're trying to make you aware of your negative behavior. We are trying to save the lives of children. We know we can't save the child if we can't save the mother, because the mother is the primary caregiver. Listen to what I'm saying. We are trying to save the lives of children, but we cannot save the lives of children if we cannot influence the way their mothers think, because the mother is the primary caregiver. You need to change. We do not care if you wake up in the morning in a hotel room with a man that you do not know. You still need to change. You can redeem your life. You must believe. You do not have to tranquilize yourself with alcohols or drugs. You just need to start respecting yourself and loving yourself. You can do what lots of other people have done with their lives. when they were losing. They stopped the losing behavior and became another person. We believe once you realize why you keep repeating this self-defeating behavior, you can learn your way out of this servo loop and begin living a more fulfilling and satisfying life. Yes, you're going to have to change your set of friends. Yes, you're going to have to let go of the past. Also, at the end of this broadcast, we want you to listen closely to what we have to say about self-esteem. Now back to today's broadcast. We need to get one thing straight. Your children do not care what size your breasts are, and they do not care how big your buttocks is. What they care about is, are there lights on in the house? Is there food in the refrigerator? Do you have money for them to go skating or to buy an Xbox? And do you have money for them to buy lunch at school? And believe it or not, your children are going to evaluate you based on these things or the lack of these basic needs. They care absolutely nothing about your falling in love. Why? Because children are that way. They are self-interested and they are self-loving. Those are the basic characteristics of children. As they grow older and reach adulthood, they will change. But in the beginning, all that children are interested in is meeting their basic needs. Children are selfish. That's just the way they are. They believe they deserve all the attention in the family. Your children will care absolutely nothing about your falling in love with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But they will have an opinion on how stupid your best girlfriend is. And yes, they will have an opinion about the men that you bring into the home. And as they grow older, they will begin to develop opinions about your behavior. This is where winning and losing comes in, because you're going to be evaluated by your children. There is no way to escape this evaluation. You might as well accept that your children will develop their own mind, and they will hate you if you force them to try to think as you think. They're going to notice that that their friend's mother gets up every morning and go to work and you do not. You wake in the morning lying in bed with that no good man, smoking a joint of marijuana. Yes, your children are going to despise him, and yes, your children are going to grow up and dislike you. There's no sense sitting there crying. It's going to happen because you've done nothing to keep it from happening. Yes, your child will love you, but he or she may not especially like you nor respect you. Therefore, your conduct will be extremely important in the days ahead, because your child will continue to grow, and soon they will be adults making decisions for themselves. There was a young man that I knew that as soon as he graduated from high school, he left Michigan. He applied to and was accepted by a school in California. He wanted to be an attorney. He was accepted in colleges here in Michigan, but he wanted to leave the state. He did not want to have anything to do with his family. He rather pay the out-of-state tuition to live in California than to be around his family. He made arrangements with financial aid to live and study in California. He never came back to this state. He seldom corresponded with his siblings or parents. He returned to this state when his mother died, and he left the state the next day. He did not visit friends and family. All of his siblings are dead now. They died from overdoses or illnesses associated with drugs. He had 8 siblings. Now do you see how your behavior affects your children? You need to change, and you need to stop having affairs with every man that you see. You need to stop pulling your panties down. You need to stop dating married men, and you need to stop bringing unrelated males into your home. You need to get up and go get an education. You need to get a respectful job. Life is not all about you. It is about your children that you brought into this world. They desire a chance, and the only person that can give them this chance is you.
You have 3 choices. You can sit on your couch and do nothing. You can participate sometime hardly doing anything. Or you can step into the future that you designed. The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You either stand up for yourself with the chance of winning or failing, or grow old, mean, bitter, and hateful, driving your children to run from home or move to another state because of your archaic ideas. Time is running out. What are you going to do?
One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of other people. This way, one can avoid the mistakes other people have made and possibly achieve success faster. This is one of the reasons why you cannot afford not to read the series Women of Courage. In this series of books, the lives and times of several women were chronicled who by sheer courage conquered the world around them. These women are examples of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, which is the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find out that the beard comes off in his hand and that it was only tied on to scare away the timid adventurer." These are ordinary women like all of us, but they were determined to do extraordinary things. From the stories of their lives, you will learn how to stop making and living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your own terms. For them, failure was not an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and reach for their goals again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much that their lives could easily serve as a template for other women to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going. Finally, he won and invented the light bulb and other inventions. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. One thing about the series Women of Courage, the books are not ordinary books. These books will challenge you, push you, and of course inspire you to gain your life again. Remember, a man is what he thinks about all day. So said Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Need a publisher? Contact Touched by the Light Publishing Services today. We can help. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Get the best book publishing services available. Call 734-786-3233. Leave your contact information and we will get back to you. Or email your contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. Get the best proofreading, editing services, book cover and website development, book trailers, and more. Email us at yithril11@netzero.net to get started. We are self-publishing made easy. We empower independent authors. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Once you contact us, the hard part is over. Self-publish your work quickly, easily, and affordably today. Call 734-786-3233. Leave contact information or email contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. That's all there is to it. Now you can leave the rest to us. Ready to show the world what you've been working on? Call 734-786-3233 today and let's get started.
Dear male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers, and you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show with an ear for understanding. Thank you.
Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer, into the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 family members and friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We're trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Hi there. Are you confused about the situation of life? Or are you discouraged about your present situation? Or have you been discouraged that you can never amount to something due to past failure? Or are you loaded with lots of fear? Or are you depending on friends to survive for living? Worry no more. Here comes a book very loaded and well packaged, titled The Prophet of Your Life. This book will enlighten you on who you are, how to build yourself, and how to be the prophet of your life. Note, life does not give what you desire. What are you waiting for? You can read the first chapter of the book by going to https://touchedbythelight.us. Order your copy today.
This video was brought to you by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries. Why not email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com and learn about the programs we have to assist women to fulfill themselves. We welcome women who wish to participate. Surely you have a few hours each month to help us with one of the many programs we are developing. Your expertise will be greatly welcome. We believe that one of our programs, Returning Citizens, The Wall Project, Black Women and Breast Cancer, and Teach Someone to Read, will interest you, where you might volunteer once a month to help us. Our primary function is to assist women in changing their lives for the better. Please email us today at murdervoices@gmail.com. We will appreciate your help. Thank you.
Don't be discouraged. Yes, you can live a life you want to and be the person you want to. Be a goal-getter. Take this bold step to order and purchase these life-changing books so as to learn the detail of the struggles and limitations women faced before becoming the icons they are today. Then you can avoid mistakes too. I'm going to be honest with you here. There's only one inspirational book which has encouraged me not to be fearful as a woman, but to take a bold but little step to changing my low self-esteem and total life situation positively, so quickly and greatly. My little secret has been the book's titled Women of Courage. This book has been so amazing and knowledge-packed. Before now, there hasn't really been a right, perfect time to do the right or perfect thing. Most often than not, I've continued to wait for the right time to have things done, but it always never comes. Not until I got hold of the books, Women of Courage. To gain knowledge and becoming a woman of purpose, only then I was able to create the perfect and right time to grab every opportunity that confronted me. I was strong and determined never to get too comfortable and to stop growing. I was able to use and control my anger and temper for the right course. I became the woman of courage that was not deterred of what people say. I created and took advantage of every opportunity where people saw as limitations. Thanks to the story of many courageous and determined women of history. Interesting, isn't it? The success story of many women who read the book convinced me. Here I am, more refined, courageous, and living the kind of life I have always hoped for. You too can become the woman of courage and purpose everyone would admire, just like me.
Please tell your friends and family about our broadcast and invite them to listen to us every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. on 88.1 FM WHPR. You can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com to learn more about our programs and how you can become involved. You can find inspirational articles by the Women of Courage Show by visiting the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read some of our essays on your lunch hour. These articles will help you last throughout the day. They will inspire you not to quit. Join us at the Women of Courage Show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.